Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my January 2021 bullet journal spread up. Drill it? What am I going on about? My 2021 January bullet journal setup. There we go, we got there in the end. So yes, the long awaited video you've all been waiting for. And so for this month I actually decided to recreate Amanda Rach Lee's Among Us bullet journal theme that she did for November of last year. Well, actually November of this year. This video will go out in 2020, but it's for 2021. That's very confusing. But she did this for her November bullet journal spreads, and I absolutely loved the game Among Us. I've never actually, please don't kill me, played the game, but I've watched so many YouTubers play it on YouTube and I've learned a lot from just watching them, and it's really cool, and I hope one day I will play it. But I decided to recreate her spreads and also incorporate some of my own spreads into the bullet journal and just make it my own, really. So yes, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Leave some comments down below of what other bullet journal spreads you'd like to see me create. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so that you receive notifications every time I upload a new video. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So yes, like I said, this month I recreated Amanda Rach Lee's Among Us bullet journal spread, but for the month of January. And I really had so much fun creating this. I actually pre-drew all of this out because I actually didn't really have time to sit down and draw it all out and time-lapse it and edit it all. So I just already pre-drew this, but this is the front cover page for January, and I actually have an interactive part in my bullet journal this month. This is something that Amanda created in her bullet journal and I think is really cool. So if you don't know what Among Us is, I probably should actually explain before we get into the video. It's basically a game where you go around as these little characters and you can customise them with different hats and different colours, and you go around maps as crewmates completing tasks or an imposter. And if you're an imposter, you've got to try and kill people without people realising that it's you. And the aim of the game is either as a crewmate to finish all your tasks, or as an imposter to kill as many crewmates as you can so that there are more imposters left than crewmates. And there's different maps you can play on. And yes, like I said, I've never actually played the game, but I've seen so many people play it and I'm kind of a bit obsessed with it. So I hope that one day I will get to play it. But this is my front cover page, and the interactive part, I normally do a quote on my left hand side, if you know me by now, and I did this guy as yellow because I imagine that if I did play the game I would definitely be yellow, and it's just a little pull tab. And for those of you that don't know, this is kind of the screen that comes up when one of the players gets ejected from the game and they're travelling through space, and it's a pull tab, and normally when the character goes through space the title comes up saying this person was ejected, or this person was the imposter, or this person was not the imposter, and so on. And so I've written behind it 2020 was the imposter. And this is what Amanda wrote, and I just thought this is such a great line because 2020 really wasn't, it was the greatest year and also really wasn't the greatest year, but I think we're all kind of ready to leave it behind and get back to a bit of normality. So yes, that's just really what I've done, is stuck two pages together and then cut out a rectangle and coloured it in black and then stuck this through. So that's how I got the bit behind it and the bit to pull it through there. And so yes, I kind of again went for this kind of font that I did in my New Year's bullet journal setup. If you've seen that video, I'll link it down below. But I really like the bright, vibrant colours, and I thought that fitted really well because there are so many different colours you can choose from for your character to be in the game. So yes, I've just drawn loads of different characters and different hats. And also, let me know in the comments down below what your favourite hat is from Among Us. I know it's so random, but if I was to play, I think I would either have to go with the fried egg, the cheese, or I really like the one where it's like the mini U on top of your head, which I think is really cool. So yes, I think that's what I'd be, and I'd definitely be yellow. So let me know what you would choose down below. So moving on, we have got the monthly calendar spread, again just on one page, and I did them as individual boxes this time. I wasn't going to because I didn't like the way that it came right to the edge of the page, but I did really kind of like the look of it. So yes, I just did January again in this kind of funky font, and throughout all the spreads I've kind of just drawn little characters and squiggles and stuff. And for those of you that don't know, this is what the crewmate looks like once it's been killed, so it's a bit gruesome, but that's what that is if you're wondering. So yes, and then on the page next to it I've done my Bible verse of the month page. As you can see, I've written it in invisible ink. No, I'm just joking. I haven't actually written it in yet because I haven't actually chosen which Bible verse I want to put in. So I'm just going to put one that I really like in there. And I do want to say, I can't remember which bullet journal I had it in, but there was one, and I had the quote, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me," which is Philippians 4 verse 13. And I'm actually so impressed with myself that I still remembered that, because that's the whole point of it. I can look through it every day and be reminded of a wonderful verse from the Bible, and it will stick in my head like that one has done, and I love to hear it. So yes, once I put it in, maybe I'll post it to my Instagram so you can see. But yes, just because the whole theme was about Among Us and a game doesn't mean you can't add things in that aren't to do with the game. So yes. Woohoo! This next page, I love this page so much, is my mood tracker and my habit trackers. So on the left I've got my mood tracker, and for this we've drawn out a whole bunch of different characters from Among Us, and I did remember to number them this time. And for each one I will colour in a different colour depending on what my mood was. So if I was really happy, I'll colour it in grey. If I was really down, I'd colour it black. But then you won't be able to see the outline, so hopefully I'm never feeling that bad. But yeah, each one is different characters, so really cool. So like, there's one with a flower pot on its head, one with, there you go, there's a piece of cheese, one with a flamingo, one with a banana peel. Like, they're just so ridiculous, but I think they're really cool. So the page next to it is my habit trackers, and this says finish your tasks, because as I explained, in the game crewmates have tasks that they have to complete. So one of them is like, you have to click on numbers 1 to 10 in order, and so I use that to be able to track my period. So I won't colour in all of the squares, of course, like you do in the game, but I will just colour them in when I have them to keep track of that. I've got a new habit, which is my washing, and I actually am keeping track of this like the wires task in the game, where you have to match the corresponding coloured wires to the other side. And so I thought that was perfect because I'll do it once every week. And then I've got my water tracker to make sure I'm drinking enough water, and this is the task that they have in the office on the Polis map, I believe. And you're basically just emptying one bottle of water into the water dispenser, and so each day I will colour it in, and the bottle of water will rise as the other bottle decreases. It's as if you're decanting it into the other bottle, which I thought was perfect for tracking water. And then underneath I've just got my brush and my teeth tracker, and this is the navigation task, where you kind of click on the rocket and you follow the lines to get to the end, and I thought that was a really cool one too. So yeah, that's my moon and habit trackers. Moving on, we've got my meal tracker, and for this, boy, this took ages to draw out, and I was so fed up with it by the end of it. I was so glad it was done. But, oh look, there's the yellow guy with the cheese. But, I like how I'm so surprised, but I actually did draw this out myself. But yes, this is a page that I like to have, and I actually did the test tubes from the task you have in Medbay, and you like fill up the test tubes, and I thought that was perfect because I believe there's 5 in the task. There could be 4, but I have a feeling there's 5. And so each one will be breakfast, lunch, dinner and 2 snacks, and I can fill them in. And yeah, that's just a really good idea to keep track of what you eat and how much you eat, because I know that can really affect your mood and yeah, just your energy levels, and I find it really helpful. So the page next to it is my YouTube videos ideas, and normally I will write down like a bunch of headings and stuff, but for this month I just decided to kind of leave it empty and just let my creativity flow over the page, if you like, rather than having specific stuff I have to write down. But this is a really great way to kind of write down your ideas and keep track of your videos, and so they're not all in your head and you're having to remember them, and a really good way to stay organised and view them all in one area. So I really like that page. So this next page, dun -dun -dun, is my gratitude and my prayer requests. So I actually narrowed these down onto one page, and the gratitude log is really self-explanatory. Every day you write down something you were thankful for that day, whether it be a friend texting you, or it could be a piece of chocolate, or the fact that your TV show didn't get cancelled, something like that. And it really helps me to focus and really think about things that I'm thankful for, even though it may not seem like there was anything. It kind of forces me to think of something positive for the day. And then next to it I've got my prayer requests section, and this is just a space for me to write prayer requests myself and prayer requests that others have asked for prayer for, so that I can write them down and look through them every day and think, I must remember to pray for that person. And yeah, that's just a really cool bit to have. And the page next to it, this is probably my favourite quote I've ever written out. I just love the way it looks. I think this is really cool. And for this I wanted to find a quote that was kind of to do with games, or I was thinking maybe a quote to do with tasks, but I found a quote to do with games, and I absolutely love this quote. And it says, "Failure doesn't mean the game is over, it means try again with experience." Because just like in the game, if the crewmates lose and you all get killed, it doesn't mean that it's over, because you can just play another round and do better and win the next round, which is kind of like life. So yeah, you don't just give up when you fail on something, you try and try again until you do it or you get it right. And of course you learn each time you don't succeed, you learn from your past experiences and you get better. So yes, I really love that quote. And I drew some dead bodies at the top for failure, and then try again with experience. So this is kind of what the screen looks like when all the crewmates win. That's kind of like your team there. And so yeah, that's what I drew, them losing and then them winning the game. So that's my quote page. And then this is my first weekly spread for January. Now it's really annoying when the first week of the month has like only a few days in it, because the first week of January only has the 1st, 2nd and 3rd, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. But it's a bit awkward to have that just on one page, because I could clearly just fit 3 on one page and then have a blank page. So I decided to draw the whole week and then just kind of cross out the other days from the previous month, just because it would annoy me otherwise. But yeah, it's kind of the screen of when the crewmates and the imposters are having meetings, and they're basically telling people what they were doing in the game and trying to prove their innocence, basically. And each person has their little character and then their name next to it in a kind of box like that. And so I did a little character for each day and then the name of the day next to it, and kind of did a few of the colours that you can have your characters as. And yes, I thought that was really cool. And if you can't see, because I don't know how big this comes up on the camera, but I've just drawn the date of the day in the little mask of the characters. So yeah, that's just a really simple layout for the first week. And yes, as I go on to the other weeks, I will draw out the other weekly spreads, which hopefully I will do kind of a different design for each week, mix it up a bit. But yes, that was my bullet journal spread for the month of January. And like I said, a lot of this was a recreation from Amanda Rach Lee's Among Us bullet journal, so I'm not taking credit for that. But some of the pages and some of the ideas were actually mine that I incorporated. Well guys, I really hope you enjoyed my January 2021 bullet journal setup. I really had so much fun creating this one, and if you do decide to recreate any of my spreads, then feel free to tag me on Instagram at HollywoodHRA and leave some comments down below and like and subscribe and ring the bell and all of that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you on my next video. Bye.